We back, boys. We back. We all back. Yes, the crew is back. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Under the John Quinavi Facebook page and also Star 6 Media Productions on all the social media platforms. We're back, y'all. We're back. The crew is here. We're all here. Jonathan Palayo, Jose Contreras, myself, Eric Avila.
What's up, gang? What's up?
After a very kind of long week of very disappointing performances from all my teams across the world, this is actually the bright side of my week, having the guys back here on the show. What's up, guys? I missed y'all. How y'all been?
What did you do, baby?
Hey, you ain't lying.
No. I'm over here pumping you guys, hyping you guys up to the pure max, and you guys like, yeah.
Nah,
but the crew's back. The guys are back. Jose here, Jonathan here, me here, and there's a lot to talk about, guys. There's a lot to talk about. Obviously, a lot of Bears news are coming out. They made a trade. Want to see your guys' thoughts about that. They made another coaching firing. Want to get your thoughts about that. They had a game on Sunday on national TV that was quite embarrassing. A little to talk about that before the game on Sunday against the Saints. And also the Bulls are the Bulls, and I want to get these guys' thoughts about it. Where do they feel? How do they feel about whatever's going on with the Chicago Bulls? Is it the same old story, different chapter, whatever the case may be for the Bulls? Is it something more deep? But let's get right into it, guys. The Chicago Bears were literally embarrassing on Sunday against the Chargers. And I want to know what you guys think. First things first, let's get it over it. Quick reactions. How'd you guys feel about Bagent and the offense on Sunday, Jose?
Bagent and you said on Sunday?
See.
Yeah, against your other team.
The Tony Football Show or whatever case it is.
It was the Tony Football Bowl on Sunday night with my Bears and my Chargers. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was pretty disappointed in the outcome, man. I was rooting for the Bears, believe it or not, more so than I was rooting for the Chargers.
Capping.
I'm for real.
Capping like a mother.
It just didn't happen the way I wanted it to, you know. No, but honestly, I don't know, Eric. It was pretty bad. It was a pretty bad game all around. Offensively and defensively, but for Tyler Bagent alone. Daddy. He has some moments. You know, he threw out the interception.
She wants to make her appearance on the JCA Sports Podcast.
Yeah, man. But he threw an interception, but right after, he kept his composure, threw a touchdown. It wasn't a bad game for Bagent, but then at the same time, it was just an overall bad game for the team. But he does show some promise. He does show that if the Bears did have the right quarterback, you know what I'm saying, with the right team around him, they can do something.
Johnny Football, Johnny Parlay. I know you hit the over on this one, and I don't know if you had the Bears on the money line or not on Sunday. But quick thoughts on your game on Sunday.
Well, shout out to the Chargers. They covered, just like hi Oli, just like
Oli.
I hope they would. In my eyes. But you know what? French Baguette did what I thought he'd do. I mean, you heard what Tony said. He has, he shows some promise, but isn't that the story with Fields? Isn't that just the story with quarterbacks here? I mean, literally, I think we can now say it's not even just quarterback with the Bears. It's just good players show promise, but don't reach their potential if they're on this Bears roster. And then, I mean, it speaks for itself that Johnson literally requested a trade when there's only less than 24 hours left of the trade deadline.
Okay, something like that.
And it's there's a reason he wants to leave. I'm surprised Moore doesn't want to trade. But
he just got here. And he still has a few more years on that contract.
He's still wide receiver one, regardless of who's under center. They are feeding him the ball, although he heard me on reception targets. No receptions. The targets were there, but I mean, it was embarrassing, but I think it brought us back to reality. I mean, so many people were already talking about should French Baguette replace Fields. And it's like, dude, let Fields, let him heal, man. What's the rush? Look at how we are,
100%.
Let for French Baguette get his tick in, get some time in. I mean, his story's amazing. Just to make it to the NFL is incredible. To get a start like that, for any athlete, on a professional level. But it's just very unfortunate that he's on the Bears, and here we are, nationally televised Sunday night game, and it's like,
not to mention, it would have been hard even for Justin Fields to try to keep up with the Chargers offense. That's the one thing about the 100%. Chargers. They're bad defensively. Like, they'll give up a lot of points, but they could dish it, man. They could dish it just as well as anybody in the NFL. So just for Bayesian to be able to, I mean, look, they got blown out. But let's be honest, guys.
Their backs blown out.
Let's be honest. If Velus Jones would have caught that touchdown, it would have been a whole different game.
If they would have let Mooney run to the touchdown instead of blowing it dead, that's another 4. That's another 7.
Not even just letting him, but if he would have had the wherewithal or the coaching or the experience, whatever you want to say, to just run down and score a touchdown, it would have been a different game.
Yeah, so, just like Kokomet did when he was going sideways with it and he ran to the end zone.
Yeah,
that could have been possibly 21 points right there where the momentum could have swung, and it was there for the taking for the Chicago Bears. But again, bad coaching, like you said. Mooney stopping. If he would have kept on going, it would have been a different story. Velus is just Velus. We don't know why he's on the team. I think we all finally gave up on Velus Jones Jr. right there. I mean, the dude tripped on his own feet, and the ball still hit him in the belly button, and he still couldn't end up coming up with the catch. And then Mooney with Mooney, and then Komet too as well. So
he fell perfectly to catch the ball.
Exactly, and that's the damning part about it, bro. Like, he still ended up tripping in his own feet, falling on his ass. Ball still hits him in the chest and the numbers, and he still can't come up with the catch, man. It's just overall bad.
You guys made valid points. Like, if all those plays, those what ifs would have turned into touchdowns, it would have made the game more exciting. But I still don't think we would have beat the Chargers.
Yeah, what was the score again? What was the score?
20 piece.
It was like 30 or something.
Yeah. Put it this way, I had to wake up early for work the next day, and I didn't sacrifice no more sleep for the Bears.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm gonna look how the score ended, and then we can just add the totals just for hypothetical reasons. But let's move on. Let's move on from last Sunday to this week that came up. Interesting news that came out of the Bears camp within the last 24 hours. Obviously, the trade deadline was today, but the Bears also made another firing, and the running back coach I forgot his name, but the running back coach for the Chicago Bears got released, got fired, got let go of his duties today, simply because of, let's put it nicely, he wasn't a very good guy within the organizations inside Hallis Hall and the Walls. That's the second firing of a head coach this season. Obviously, Alan Williams, defensive coordinator in the beginning of the year, and now this year, and then this week with the running backs coach. Guys, this looks bad overall on Matt Eberflus for bringing him in, or the organization for having these type of people inside their walls, John?
It's definitely. I think the fingers get pointed at Eberflus more. Like, you're the one bringing these people in. These are your guys, your team, and yet he still has the nerve to say that we have a good culture here. And it's like, dude, like you said, this is the second firing this year. We're not even, what are we on, week 8, week 9 now?
And yeah, David Walker's the running back, by the way, Eric.
Thank you. I appreciate the name.
And then what's crazy is the running backs in general have been like the highlight of our season so far. That's been the positive thing, is how our running backs perform. And it's like, here we are firing the coach. And I mean, I don't know the details. I saw it was like inappropriate behavior. I think I saw was the quotation. So
yeah, inappropriate behavior.
It's the Bears organization must have some baddies working there making these coaches act up. Because, man, shooters gonna shoot.
Shooters gonna shoot. That's right. And look, it's more damning on Matt Eberflus because these are his guys. He assembles the coaching staff. Brian Poles or how it's supposed to go. The GM brings the coach assembles his coaching staff, and they get to work. This is now the second coach under Matt Eberflus' tenure, I guess, whatever, to get fired in one season. Guys, remember last season was bad. We were literally the worst team record-wise in the NFL. This season seems worse almost in a way with all this stuff going on. And then you have this happening. It's like, you're a product of your environment. If the team is not performing well, if they're not coached well, they are a product of the evaluation of the coaching staff, of whatever progression is supposed to be happening during practice. And
the fact that you now have two coaches, one from the defense and now one on the offense, you're fired for inappropriate conduct. What does that say about you as a head coach? What does that say? And then you wonder why the team isn't performing the way they're supposed to. It's like, what's really going on there? Look, Matt Eberflus, I know, no offense, but he's literally giving the Bears every reason to fire him. Not only is your team not performing the way you're supposed to, your record's bad. You're the most losingest coach in NFL history. Like the way this looks right now with Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, it's right now record wise they're a lot worse than Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace was. Now obviously we're in a rebuild now. They weren't in the rebuild when they first started, but you're supposed to be better this year than you were last year, and it does not seem that way at all. So it's really bad. It looks bad. I'm surprised Ryan Poles said a lot of things about backing up Matt Eberflus this morning because I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
He should have fired him too.
Yeah, he got to go.
He should have been fired. McDaniels.
It was that dreaded vote of confidence, right? I think for people that are into like all the other sports, once you get that dreaded vote of confidence, that means more than likely you're going to be gone within the next couple of weeks or up until the end of the season. So that's how I took it as a dreaded vote of confidence. Obviously, again, going on the reports. From I'm going on ESPN with this one. Courtney Cronin, ESPN writer, says that David Walker was fired Wednesday morning due to misbehavior in the workplace. He was pre-mandated by the Bears Human Resources Department for workplace misconduct. So that was the reason why it was his firing. Again, like John said earlier, whatever has happened over there at Lake Forest, man, is the reason for it. This is the second misbehavior or the second firing for misconduct behavior in the workplace for the Chicago Bears. And the issue is a lot more bigger. Jose, hopefully you're right. I mean, this looks bad on Matt Eberflus. Can't conduct the coaching staff, right? And obviously he was doing great as a defensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears as they were stepping up their games within recent weeks. But just coming off of national embarrassment against the Chargers on Sunday and now having this, it's not looking good for Eberflus. And it may have another dent in him coming back as at least a defensive coordinator for the NFL. On to more.
Hold on, real quick.
Better news.
Are we gonna stick with John's theory, or why don't we all get a crack at why he got fired? Cheerleaders or what, man? He saw a cheerleader. He's like, hey, what up?
There's no cheerleaders in the Chicago Bears, bro. So that's already
There's no cheerleaders in the Chicago Bears. Really?
The Bears are the only organization that doesn't have cheerleaders because of Virginia McCaskey not wanting to.
No wonder they're not playing well, man.
Ain't got no motivation,
I don't think that has anything to do with it, bro.
There ain't no motivation on that field.
You gonna show out for the cheerleaders now?
Right, John. When you're working out, there's a girl that you like right next to you. And you're working out. You're gonna rep a little bit harder, aren't you? Not?
I'm gonna add a couple plates, even though I ain't gonna lift more than 3.
Them couple plates are only like 2.5 pounds. That's the only ones that keeps on adding.
Man, well, man, as I added, I'd be like, you got.
That is true.
Show
That is
out,
true.
bro.
The more that looks on it, the more you're lifting, right?
Exactly, bro. You know how it is when you're on the field and you got random pretty. I was gonna say decent looking, pretty looking girl. Watching you practice or watching your game. You gonna show out like you that dude on the team. And I guess Mr. Running Back coach is like,
Yeah, man, it's just crazy how we're just into this type of situation. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch under the John Konavi Facebook page, and also the Star 6 Media Productions on all the other media platforms. The link is on here if you guys want to join us or drop a comment on the section. We're talking about the firings of the Chicago Bears and running back coach David Walker. Leave your comments. How do you guys feel? What do you guys feel this weekend coming up? But also, we're getting everybody's thoughts on this. The Bears also made a move yesterday in I don't know, mixed mindset, mixed thoughts, right? I think everybody has their own different mindset on this one, how they feel, right? The Bears traded a second-round pick for Montez Sweat from the Commanders. More than likely, it's the Bears going to be the second-round pick again. That's going to be high. Once again, I think that's where it's going to look a little bit damning because the Bears they're picking high in this draft, so their second-round pick is going to be high too as well, just like last year. And I think everybody's having a bad taste in their mouth because it's a similar situation from Chase Claypool last year, this year, but with Montez Sweat. Difference is Montez Sweat is going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Before we get into more stuff, guys, how do you like this trade, Jose? Do you like this trade? Do you not like this trade? What's the whole point? Draft capital? Where are your thoughts?
I'm indifferent. I am very indifferent on this trade because this trade is either going to make or break Ryan Poles. It's going to make him either look like a genius or a complete idiot.
That's a good thought.
And there's a reason for it. I mean, it looks good if he's able to re-sign Montez Sweat for a multi-year deal. That's the only reason why you would even trade for him. That's the only reason why you would give 100%. Something that much in a second round pick. Because again, if you think about it, if Montez Sweat would have stayed on the Commanders and he would have became a free agent, there's no way he's picking the Chicago Bears. Who wants to come to the Bears right now? Right. Nobody. But the way they're playing,
unless if they overpay, but that's another solution.
Yeah, but nowadays, especially with like a guy like him, a lot of people are going to want to go to contenders. Like Chase Young, him going to the 49ers is a win-win situation for him. Let's be honest. He's in a beautiful city like San Francisco on a winning team, and he can't lose.
And he's only going to be there a couple months because the 49ers don't have the salary cap to resign him. Right. So he's literally making it just to make it to the Super Bowl.
But he can get a ring, and that's a win right there for Montez Sweat. You're not getting that in Chicago, not anytime soon. So it's like you're either going for the money, and that's basically it. If they can manage to re-sign him, that's a win. That's a 100% win because he makes that team and that defense way better. Now, if he leaves, then we literally back to back just gave up second round picks for nothing. He's gonna make the team better this year, but what's the point? We're rebuilding. We're losing right now. We're better off losing than winning. Nice. I mean, him doing whatever to the defense, making them better this year, ain't gonna do nothing for us. Great, we're gonna get to cheer a couple plays, but that's about it. And if that happens again, you need to get rid of Ryan Poles because that's it, dude. Chase Claypool was his worst mistake, and he's had a couple of them, but that's his worst one because you gave up Roquan Smith and a second round pick for Chase Claypool.
Well,
and then for what? Now you have another second round pick. You just not like second round picks? Like what the hell's going on here? Like you have a high second round pick coming. It's going to be high because your team sucks, and you're giving that up for a guy who may not even play next year. Like he better resign him, otherwise, Eric, it's going to be bad, and we're going to be calling for his head.
Yeah, Johnny Parlay. I mean, he's right. He did another second round pick that he traded away for another player who's on a. Well, I mean, this time it's different. Players in the last year of his contract. Obviously, we hope that he resigns him. On stat wise, on paper, is a better player than what Chase Young is stat wise. But we know what Chase Young is as a defensive end and as an edge rusher. But first, your thoughts on the Bears getting Montez Sweat from the Commanders for their second round pick that looks like it's going to be high.
I didn't like it at all. Even if we re-sign him, we still got to pay him, which is something we shouldn't be doing next year because looking at it, we're probably going to have a new head coach next year, a new defensive coordinator, a new running back coach. But it's just like, dude, this dude's half a year rental for what? He doesn't push us closer to the playoffs. We're not contenders. It's not what we need to address on this team. And it's like you're giving we got Eberflus, running the defense, and he just got a better player. But it's like, what does it matter if Eberflus isn't here next year, nor is a player you traded for? I mean, next year we're going to be rebuilding. So Jose says it's a win, even if we, sign him. But he's going to want to get paid. So it's like, are we really in the win? That's probably going to be like one of our highest paid players, and we just entered a rebuild with the new head coach all over again.
I mean, valid points. I mean, there's room for for food for thought. You know what I mean? The Bears not being in a position to win, obviously that hinders on this trade. Again, Chase Claypool is also in the back of everybody's mind. Gave up another high second round pick. Technically, if we're technically speaking, it was a first round pick, right? Because last year the Dolphins didn't pick the first round, so he was number 32. But again, it's going to be a high second round pick, obviously, because it's the Bears. But I think you guys hit the nail on the coffin right here, boys. Like he needs to re-sign him, and even then, so like he needs to be one of the highest paid players because that's what you really desperately need. And Ngakoue is going to walk away at the end of the season anyway. So I mean, you're already going to be short a player there. You may or may not replace him with Sweat. And then obviously, like another thing I didn't put it on here, but we can also talk about it too. Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson also seeking a trade. He looked out in the market. He ended up staying with the Bears after all. He did talk to the reporters today, since everybody was available, talking to Montez Sweat. But he did say, and I may be paraphrasing here, but he did say like he'll feel some type of way if the Bears re-sign Sweat first before they do Jalen Johnson. I, I want to know how you guys feel about Jalen Johnson, being one of the highest paid players at the Bears team for a guy who is quintessentially top 10 cornerback in the league. John, am I right there? Am I wrong there? Is he going to be overpaid?
Mid, bro. He's mid.
No, he's good. No, he's good. He's fucking good.
He's good.
No,
I mean, he's the number 3 cornerback so far this season for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And has improved the secondary every time he's in. So,
but Eric, realistically, and Jose, you too. Now that we know he requested a trade and Bears gave him permission to trade, then it's like, do you really want the Bears to go out and pay him and sign him? Because it's like you were literally like you were willing to get rid of him, and it's like again, if we're on a rebuild, do you really want to start off paying him? I mean, at this point, it's like, why are we going to commit to that? Because what's going to happen is once you start doing bad a year or two into his contract, he's going to want to go to a contender. And, I mean, we owe it to him. He's one of the best, so why not? So, I mean, it's a serious discussion that needs to be made. Like, hey, if you sign you and you come back here, we pay you, like, you're committed to us, like, for your full contract. I don't want it to be
I put it like this, John. I think the Bears, what they did, to me, as a business organization, and I try to put my business hat a lot more often, even though I don't have no type of degree in business, but I try to think like one.
You don't have a degree.
I think what they did was they let him in the trade market or let him explore the trade market simply because I feel like he should have been like, okay, this is what I am worth to the league, not to the Bears. And if the Bears are offering me the best amount instead of what everybody else is offering me, then, okay, cool. Like the Bears wanted a second round pick for Jalen Johnson. I think that was like the bare minimum that the Chicago Bears just wanted from him.
I think that's
fair. Or actually say the max, right? They just or bare minimum, yeah, because they just want a second pick because they let go of their second round pick for Montez Sweat.
Stupid.
So with that him being a second round pick, obviously that means they're going to get a contract extension. Well, I feel like once they started talking numbers on what he was worth to the league, I think that's why he kind of retracted back and been like, okay, cool. The Chicago Bears are probably going to give me the better deal at the end of the day anyways. So let's see what we're going to talk about. And then I believe they're probably going to send out the best offer anyways, because NFL teams talk. The agent's going to say, yeah, the best team offered me $19 million, when in reality it was probably like 17, 16 and a half, right? And then the Bears are just going to work their way there. So I think that was a smart move from the Bears to keep it that way. And again, homegrown talent. I think Ryan Poles spoke it yesterday or today, I forgot, but he said homegrown talent is more important for the Chicago Bears to build on this team. Jalen Johnson may not have been drafted by Poles, but he's been good since he's been with the Bears. And he's only 24 years old. So you should give the guy the contract for a 4 or 5 year extension, whatever you want to pay him, $17.5 million. Let's just say that's the bottom barrel right there, or the top barrel. $17.5 million for Jalen Johnson, who's quintessentially a top 10 cornerback in the league. Or am I overpaying for Jalen Johnson, Jose?
Yeah, I mean, you get rid of him, you're gonna have to find someone who plays just like him. And you're gonna try to find someone who plays better, and that's tough because you mentioned he's one of the top 3 cornerbacks this season. So if he's young, 24, and he's playing this well, then you can control his level, his talent, his level of play, him like the guy himself for the next X amount of years by re-signing him and giving him the money. So I say do it, but the thing is, the Bears put themselves in this situation. Nobody their own guys don't want to stay. They want to seek trades. There's a reason why David Montgomery went to the Lions. The Bears offered him the same amount of money. He just didn't. He just wanted to leave. That's on them. Jalen Johnson, wants to go. Yeah, it's a slap in the face when they don't get paid. But at the same time, if it was a team like the 49ers or the Eagles, they'd be like, you know what, maybe I take a little bit less to win a ring, to be on a successful team. But the Bears are doing this to themselves. Like I said, Montez Sweat could be a good pickup for Ryan Poles as long as he resigns. Jalen Johnson, if he resigns, then you start looking at the little future. Like, okay, we got some key players here in the upcoming years on defense. We just got to build around them.
especially with the moves you made last season in the offseason or this past offseason, then you're starting to see something. You know what I mean? The guys just gotta stay healthy. But if that doesn't happen, then it's like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like Ryan Pohl had all the opportunity this past offseason to save his job or to keep him going. Now this next offseason is gonna be like, okay, like this is a new test for you. What are you gonna do with all these players that you got to resign? Like, how are you going to maneuver the cap space? How creative are you going to be? And at the same time, look to see what's out there and what you can do, not only in the draft, but in free agency. So man, I personally like Jalen Johnson. I want him to stay. It's just, if you're Ryan Poles, what can you do to not just, help him, but help everybody else around you?
Yeah, I know for sure next year is going to be a big question mark for him if he decides to stick with Justin Fields and not trade him in the NFL draft next year, because he's entering his year number 4, and then he has that option to either decline or accept his fifth-year option, which could be worth up to, I think it was like $20 million. I think it was for Justin Fields' fifth-year option. So
think about that though, Eric. You not only did the moves we were just talking about on the defensive end, but on the defensive side, but then that's the biggest question is Justin Fields, and then you got to and then you got to worry about whether you're going to fire your coach, because people are going to be on his ass about the coach. But that's why he's here. That's your fault. So do what you got to do.
Yeah, Josh over here saying, well said, Jose. He thinks you're spot on everything you said about Jalen Johnson, everything that you just mentioned about the Chicago Bears. And I quite honestly, I think we're all probably, for the first time in a very long time, we're all right here. I think we're seeing the Bears the same way, guys. It's bad. Ryan Poles has a lot of work to do. I mean, right now he has a second and a third pick in this year's draft, ahead of the Arizona Cardinals, which is going to be interesting because remember, the Arizona Cardinals were one of the teams that Kelly Williams did not want to go to simply because of the whole Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen a few years back when Kyler Murray was coming out. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting draft for sure, not only just for us as Chicago Bears fans, but also for the National Football League and everybody else around them. But look, I believe that what Ryan Poles says, if homegrown talent is the way he needs to go, Jalen Johnson is the first guy on that list. He should be the first guy on that list, right? 24 years old, top 10 cornerback in the league, maybe top 15, depending on who do you talk to about that. When he's healthy, he could ball. Interceptions may be down, but his coverage is great. He makes it difficult for the number one wide receivers for sure, definitely for the number twos. But it's a tough question, and then especially if you do sign Sweat before you do Jalen Johnson, it's more than likely Johnson's going to go, unless if you overpaid for Johnson too as well, that will make him want to stay. But then he's going to have that in the back of his mind, saying that he wasn't his number one choice going on forward, moving in for the direction for the Chicago Bears for the future. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough year for Poles next year, and if we're seeing cracks in this Poles regime, right? We're seeing the cracks on the cement. We're seeing the boards kind of bending. Where this foundation that he's building, it's not that strong, and he has to be perfect next season in order for him to keep his job for the near future. This man has to be perfect, getting the number 1, getting the number 2, or trading one of those picks and getting more draft capital and build it that way, or whatever the case may be. But Ryan Poles has a lot of work to do, man. And it's going to be tough to be in the shoes next year.
That's why I feel like getting a new coach should be the biggest thing he tackles first. Yeah. Because, like you can get the players all you want, but if they're not being developed the right way, that is the biggest issue. You are putting your faith in Matt Eberflus, because, again, your job is to get the talent. Their job is to develop the talent. And then it has to show on field. And if that's not happening, it's on you, Ryan Poles. And people are saying that guy's a bust because you picked him, but no one's saying, well, hey, he's just not being developed right. Like, and that's the thing about Ryan Poles. Like, if I'm him, I'm looking at Matt Eberflus side eye all season long. Like, bro, like you can lose games. That's okay. Like the Lions were losing games. Let's not forget the last 2 seasons. The Lions were losing games, but they look good losing. We don't look good losing. That's the difference.
All right, Jose, you brought it up about the biggest thing should be getting a new coach. And I want to ask you guys both. If you our new coach coming to the Bears, do you want Justin Fields under center for your tenure here?
Me, no, I don't want him.
I
I still feel like Justin has his chance. I honestly still have faith in
agree.
Justin.
I agree. I
do.
feel like if he goes somewhere else, he's gonna ball out.
100%. That's the one thing that scares me.
You don't know that.
Like, imagine him going to Atlanta, a team that's ready, a team that's a quarterback away from being successful, and you bring in Justin Fields to tag him up with Pitts and Bijan in the backfield, and who's their receiver? Drake London. With the decent offensive line. They just don't have a quarterback. It's just like, that's the one thing I'm afraid of. I'm like, this could have been Justin here in Chicago, and that's the one thing I do not want to say.
I mean,
I don't care if we have Caleb Williams or the other guy that's coming out of the draft.
He has talent, man. And look, Jose, you brought up the Lions. Goff was like viewed as a crappy quarterback when they first acquired him. But give him the right coach, the right system to work in. Look at the Lions now; they're balling out. I feel like Justin Fields has that potential if you put the right coach and let the coach put the right team around him. That's been the problem with the Bears for forever. You know,
I agree, but what happens to the Rams when they traded Goff? But what happened to that coaching, that system, that team when Goff was traded? Yeah, Goff is playing well, but then you get the quarterback that you need for your system, and there you go, and there's a Super Bowl. As soon as the Rams traded Goff and got Stafford, they won a chip
because they went and got Matthew Stafford.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So if we could trade Justin Fields or get rid of Justin Fields and get the right quarterback too, just like Justin goes to the right system, we can get the right quarterback.
Jose, there's no Matthew Stafford caliber quarterback that we can trade for and will take this roster to a Super Bowl.
No, there isn't. Not. But we have to. Right, for the Bears, there isn't one available right now, but you got to get one somewhere, and
the Bears don't even have the team available for a, veteran quarterback to come win. I
agree 100%. But if you look at the last two quarterbacks that we had, the Fields and Trubisky were similar quarterbacks with an iffy arm, but are athletic who could run. I'm tired of that, man. Get a quarterback who can throw, a pocket passer. Get somebody like Jared Goff who could. You don't see Goff running like that. He's a pocket passer. He's a legit quarterback. Someone who's known for his arm. So is Matthew Stafford. I don't know who that is in college. I'm not sitting here saying go get.
It's not going to be in college. It's not.
Okay.
Look at.
There has to be one. There has to be one in college. There's going to be one. There's going to be one.
There isn't.
That's the quarterback I want.
There isn't a Stafford or even Tom Brady level because those are the, two guys that got traded and won Super Bowls their first years. Like there aren't guys like that. I mean, you could say, okay, maybe a healthy Kirk Cousins, but you put him on his Bears team. Are we going to a Super Bowl?
No, absolutely not. But not that we know. Look, with this coaching staff, no. Like the Bears, this is the problem the Bears have. It's not just they're not a quarterback away. I don't want you guys don't get it twisted. What I'm saying, it's not like I'm not saying they're a quarterback away. They're a coach, a quarterback, and maybe like 5 or 6 more players. Good ass players, maybe even 10 players. They're a whole mess and a half away from even winning. They're even thinking about the playoffs, guys. Like I get it, but if we're just talking about quarterback alone, I personally want a quarterback, someone who I know. Hey, once we get the good system, whatever, that we're good. But we don't have that, and you can't say he's not in college. Nobody predicted Brock Purdy to be good. Remember he was. I think he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant, wasn't he? Like
honestly, I think that's more so on the head coach and the system.
But the players still have to play. But
it's like Brady with Belichick.
Yeah, but then what did we find out later on? That it was Brady who carried that team. Because look at Belichick now. Look what Brady did after he left. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is right. You got to have a good fit.
Had some upset wins though, man.
Okay, but upset wins. But come on, John. But the disappointing seasons.
Okay. For example, give Belichick, Give him to Derek Carr. I think they'll be good.
I don't think so.
Give him Kirk Cousins. It'll be good.
I don't think so.
Give him let me see who else. Who's like a mid? Okay, Jared Goff. You think he'd succeed with?
I'm just saying it's not a coincidence. Once Brady left,
Dak Prescott.
I'm just saying Mac Jones is trash. That's where my perspective is.
100%. Yeah.
100%.
But it's crazy. Maybe because we're Bears fans. but I feel like Mac Jones doesn't get the same heat that Justin Fields gets.
No, because he's under the tutelage of Bill Belichick and that Patriots umbrella. That's all what it is.
No. I
He
just
deserves
I
all the
know.
smoke, man.
We don't hear it, but trust me, they want him out of New England. He's getting just as much as the heat is just as much on him than it is in Chicago than for the Justin Fields.
That's true.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, I agree. Look, the Bears need a whole other thing. To be honest, I don't think the quarterback is the question just yet. I mean, they're a center away from the offensive line to be good. Probably another tackle there. They definitely need beef in the defensive line for sure to get to the quarterback. I mean, they can get there. They just can't finish, right?
And
obviously,
owner, a new GM,
and obviously,
new head coach, new quarterback.
Right, the head coach. They need to get that right. They need to get everything right. But honestly, we've said it. I've said it plenty of times, and I think Jose, you said it too. You win in the trenches. Like, you need an offensive line. You need a defensive line. You make your defensive line makes your secondary looks good, and your offensive line makes your quarterback looks good. So it's kind of like we need that. We have that. And all the years that you guys scream and yelled and cried that we have no O-line, we have no O-line, we have no O-line. It looks like we finally have an O-line, but now it's just like the coaching staff is just not all there. John, you shake your head, but in all reality, that O-line is not as bad. It's looking worse, but it's been better than recent years.
It doesn't look bad behind. It doesn't look bad when they're in front of Bajan because Bajan throws the ball quicker. But that's a knock on Justin Fields. It's not a knock on the coaching staff. That's a knock on Fields. The coaching staff is showing you what they want to do with Bajan. Hey, if you can get the ball out quicker, then you can get the ball into your playmakers' hands. You have a chance. The Justin Fields isn't doing it for whatever reason.
That's the strength in Tyler Bajan. That's not the strength of Justin Fields yet. Exactly. And I feel they try to take the strength of Justin Fields away to improve another area in his game that you haven't really cooked or you haven't marinated with yet. Because at the end of the day, you do need a quarterback that passes in the pocket. I get that 110%. I get it. But Justin Fields hasn't even been developed that way because he hasn't really had the true coaching technical ways of doing it.
But Bajan, they're under the same coach in the same system.
Yes, but Bajan
is doing it because he can. Bajan is doing it because he can, because he's that type of quarterback.
Because he's done it. He has the record for most passing TDs when he was in college.
They always say it, and it's true.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying, though. But that's the point I'm trying to make. Eric said that's not Justin Fields' strength. So his strength isn't throwing the ball. He's a damn quarterback. That's his job. His strength is running. His strength is running, but he is not a running back. His
strength is actually moving outside of the pocket and developing his throw that way. Can he throw inside the pocket? Occasionally, yes. We've seen it when he played against the Commanders, which had the better defensive line that the offensive line held up to. We've seen him done it before. The thing is, for some reason, they just it's the coaching where they just move away from them. Like, okay, you did it. All right, now let's go back to how we were. And it's kind of like, okay, like what's going on here? What's going on?
But that's a knock on the coaches. That's the way they want to play. Oh, that's the thing. If we had a better, let's say if you had to choose one of the two, if you need a better Bajan or a better Justin Fields, who would you win with? You would win with a better Bajan, with a guy with a way better Bajan who could throw the ball more so than with a way better Justin Fields. Let's be honest.
Nah, man, I'm on the other side.
A way better Bajan.
Better Justin Fields.
A way better Bajan looks like what? Justin Herbert, maybe, or Aaron Rodgers.
What does Justin Herbert do?
I'm just saying, like, he throw the ball, but Justin Herbert just needs to be on. He just needs a better coach. Look, I'm a Chargers fan too. Brandon Staley is bad. That as soon as he gets out of there, they're on the up and up.
Hey, Herbert looked good on Sunday, but look who he played.
I understand that, but I'm just saying maybe not just okay. Well, insert quarterback there. There's plenty of quarterbacks that if you make Bajan a better quarterback, he's like them. You know what I mean? Like, well, I guess what I'm trying to say, Eric's laughing, but what I'm trying to say is, give me a good pocket passer than a good quarterback who can run. I would rather take that. That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Right, but that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say.
But if you're talking about a better Justin Fields over a better Bajan, bro, that's not even a question.
If you can give me a Justin Fields that's a pocket passer with his athletic, what he does now,
athletic abilities to move out the pocket, we have Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
No, he would not be Patrick.
Thank you.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes does not even run like that.
Yes, he does.
Not as much as
You
Justin
gotta take his
Fields.
over rushing.
Not as much as Justin Fields. Not as much as.
Oh no, not as much.
It's
Not
more
as
like
much.
Not
Jalen
as
Hurts.
much.
I'll give him Jalen Hurts, but not
Not
Patrick
as
Mahomes.
much. Not as much. We're just saying, like, okay, what Justin Fields is lacking is being a pocket passer. So if you add that to his game, he's blowing French baguette out the water.
Right, but also a better runner. He's Jalen Hurts. As much as he runs, he's more of a Jalen Hurts than he is a Patrick Mahomes. Let's be honest.
He'll be a better Jalen Hurts, and he'll be
No,
a
he
notch
would
into
not be a
Patrick
better-
Mahomes,
he's
bro.
But-
Come on now.
He's just as good as
But,
Jalen Hurts.
hey, if Jalen Hurts was on this team, like I wanted him drafted years ago, we still be in the same spot because we
Oh,
can't
100%.
get the coach.
Oh,
We cannot
110%.
get the coach.
Well,
build
yes and
around the
no.
quarterback,
Yes and no.
help a quarterback.
Yes and no. We at least won't have a question on the quarterback position. I think we would be like, he's the guy. We just need a better system around him.
Bro,
I
it
don't-
took
I
Jalen
don't
Hurts.
feel that way.
It took
It took
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts
last
like
year,
2-3
his year three,
years, dude.
and his year three, in his year 3 of his contract
Yeah.
for Jalen Hurts to be the Jalen Hurts that we see today, bro. Let's
Which was what, last year? Which
speaking
was
here.
what, last
Yeah.
year? But what happened the year before that? He still took his team to the playoffs. They just lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
in a
but the
very
Eagles-
weak division.
Right, but very weak division. The Cowboys are still the Cowboys.
Yeah,
In
the
a
week.
very weak. Yeah,
Not during the, they're weak.
division.
They're weak during the regular season. I mean, they're weak during the playoffs, but not during the regular season. They were good during the regular season. They still and the Eagles still made the playoffs as a wild card. They got bounced by the Super Bowl defending. I'm sorry. They got bounced by the Super Bowl champions that year, the Bucks. But he at least took his team to the playoffs. Is what I'm trying to say.
I recall us making the playoffs on a wild card and still getting called weak.
Yeah,
2 years back.
absolutely. But there's a difference between the Eagles, already Eagles team, and a Bears team who are on the
Clearly-
front line.
clearly
And
they
this
were
time-
That's
ready
the key
and
word.
didn't win.
You said the key word. Already ready Eagles team.
Yes,
They were
exactly.
already ready. The Bears
Right.
are nowhere near ready, and that's the
Right.
only difference. That is the only difference. And I think Justin Hurts, again, they questioned Justin Hurts for the first 2 years, bro. They wanted him
They
out
were-
after his
yeah,
third year, bro.
He was in
They
the
even
hot
got him
seat.
AJ Brown, and they're like, if he can't perform, they got Devontae Smith. They got all these
Yep.
players for him in order for him to perform. But
Right.
remember, the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
2 years
yeah.
were hell, and up until he got it, that's when they realized, oh, okay, he
There
can
were-
finally play.
And-
Yeah, because you
question marks, but
built
he
around
still
him with the
had
weapons,
success.
and the Bears still haven't done that.
Don't
No,
forget who his center is. He's
Jason
one of the
Jackson.
best out there.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, and everybody in the offensive
the
line
O-line he
for
got.
the Philadelphia Eagles had been drafted in the first or second round.
Yep.
Everybody in the defensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles had been drafted in the first and or second round.
Yep.
So those guys built within the trenches the way how it's supposed to be. And that is why he looks the way he looks is because he's actually protected by players that can actually play, and he's surrounded by players that can actually play.
But his play prior to those guys when they came in was way
They were
better.
ass.
They were better than
And he
Justin
still had
Fields.
that offensive
But
line, and
they
he
were
was
better
still
than
ass.
Justin Fields. But his play was still better than Justin Fields was.
I
But
agree with
Jalen
you 100%.
on the
But
Bears,
he
and
was
Justin
in front
Fields.
of a better line than what Justin Fields has already. It's
Jalen
barely
Hurts on
this
the
year where
Bears
we
now,
finally
he's
see a
been-
decent offensive line.
Put Jalen Hurts on
Our
the Bears
center
now,
can't
he's
even
good.
snap the fucking ball, bro.
Bro.
Our center gets pushed over by a guy literally when he finally
do
stands
this
up.
every fucking year. It's like you guys fall into the same trap with the same.
That's you.
No, I'm the only one who's realistic. I'm the
You're
only
being
one who's telling you guys.
realistic, bro.
I always end up being right, and I never asked to be right, but I am. I was right about
About
Mitchell
what?
Trubisky and Matt Nagy when you guys were on their
Eric
ass.
was never on his.
I was never
Eric-
on him. So you're already wrong right there, my friend.
Eric
So
was
you're
on
wrong
his
right there.
ass.
I was
Eric-
just more
Eric-
happy for the Chicago Bears being in the playoffs. That's all.
Right, but when they're in the playoffs, anything can happen. Yeah, not
Anything can happen when you're in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
any
It's
given
100%
Sunday,
true,
buddy.
bro. Like, what the? That's
Not with
100%
Mitchell
true.
Trubisky, and I was right. Was I not right? I was right. Nothing was going to happen.
I already knew Mitchell Trubisky
Nothing
was
was
ass,
gonna
but it
happen.
was just an opportunity for the Bears to win one playoff game.
they
It's
didn't.
really not that
But they
hard.
didn't,
Like,
and they
I mean,
weren't, and I could have
let
told
me
you.
rephrase that. To
I
win
could
a
have told you.
playoff game, it was difficult for the Chicago Bears then. But realistically, another team could have a bad game, and the Bears could slide it. All I asked was a fucking win. I never asked for a
Look at-
Super Bowl. All I
Which
asked
does
was a
nothing
win so
for
they
your
could play on my
team, and
birthday
they're all
weekend.
going to be gone a year later. They were.
Look at where
And
we
they were
are
gone a year later. And I already knew that was going to happen, but at least I saw my
Didn't
Bears
you
in the
have a bag
playoffs.
like
That's
this?
all I cared
Jose.
about, Jose. I never cared about anything else but
Bro.
them being in the playoffs and them playing for the weekend on my birthday. That's all I asked.
Pick me.
Yes, Jonathan.
Jose, look at where we are now. We're not even close to the playoffs, and I would much rather be that below mid team getting the last playoff spot, which is,
No,
it's
I
just
would rather
January,
be
though.
where we're at now. No, believe it or not, I would.
Stock of the league, bro, versus tanking versus giving away second round picks for guys that are probably not even going to re-sign. Like,
Yes,
let me have.
I agree.
My team in the playoffs.
No, I don't want the
100%.
team. No,
I agree.
No. I don't want a Matt Nagy and Mitchell Trubisky type team, knowing damn well they're not going to do anything for my team. They're not going to win a playoff game. They're not going to win a championship.
Jose,
and they're not going to win a year from now. No, give me what we have now. So at least there's hope in getting some damn draft picks, so you can make the team better for the future. I'd rather have that. What?
Jose, did you or did you not want the Cubs to make the playoffs like a month ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
But they wouldn't be in the World Series right now.
The Diamondbacks are. The Diamondbacks literally took that spot from the Cubs, the last wild card spot, and look where they're at now.
Yeah, because they're better than the Cubs.
Look, all I'm saying.
They did get hot at the right time.
Right.
If my Cubs made the playoffs,
right. But let's be honest here. The Cubs in July and August were a damn good team, and they looked like world beaters.
Right.
Nowhere near that season when the Bears made the playoffs. They were nowhere near world beaters. Let's not forget how they made the playoffs. They fell into the playoffs. They only made the playoffs because the team, I think it was the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Colts, one of them lost.
And the Cubs almost fell into the playoffs despite having a bad September.
That's true. I do agree right there. As a Cubs fan, I agree.
I'm just saying, right? But the Bears didn't have. The Bears literally stumbled into the playoffs, bro.
Okay,
they only made the playoffs because the team lost.
Cubs,
That's
you would
it.
have been happy. If your Cubs would have stumbled in the playoffs this year, you would have been happy.
I would have been happy because they overexceeded my expectations, and seeing them in the playoffs, I would have been happy.
Hold on, Eric. But he's asking me,
yes or no?
Yes, I would have been happy based off what they did in July, based off what Belgium's been doing, based off the offense I know they had.
Okay, Eric. So that we should be happy if the Bears make the playoffs and had a hot November, but shitty December.
But they didn't have it. But they didn't have a hot November. That's the thing. That they didn't have a hot November, John. They didn't have a hot November at all. That was a shitty season.
But we have the hope of any given Sunday you can win in football. That's facts. We see it.
That's the only reason why. Because in football, it's one game. It's not a series like it is in baseball.
Any given Sunday, a team can win, but that team
exactly. And that's all I asked, Jose. I never asked for a Super Bowl.
No.
Never asked for a Super Bowl.
But we all knew that team wasn't going to win. And the thing is, the reason why I was mad because the further you prolong that mess that they had there, which it did because that playoff berth gave Nagy another year, and Trubisky, the further you prolong it, the more suffering we have. And that's what sucks.
But we're worse now.
Eric. It was a year after that.
Worse now.
No, we're so much worse by design. Remember what Ryan Poles did?
Matt Nagy never had coaches acting inappropriately.
Yes. But Ryan Poles isn't the one who brought in Matt Eberflus. And by design, Ryan Poles last year gave away a lot of players for a rebuild. That was tanking. That was tanking at its finest. Whether he wants to admit it or not, that was tanking. We're bad by design. This year, we're bad. It's not by design, but you know what? I still rather take this because what's going to happen? Not only are you going to get one first-round pick, high first-round pick, you're going to get two.
We know.
Yep. So I'd rather be right. I'd rather be where we're at now than where we were in the playoffs. Let's be honest. Because you at least have a future of success coming your way as long as you draft the right guys.
But you have to get the right coach first and then draft the right guys.
I agree.
And then this whole entire situation happens. This situation happens when you hire your head coach first, and then you get your GM, and then you get your president of football operations. So that's why we're in this whole situation right here for the Chicago Bears. Man, I missed you guys. This is what we need. I missed you guys. You guys are great. Thank you guys for hopping on. I appreciate it. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch under the John Konavi Facebook page, and also Star 6 Media Productions on all social media platforms. Guys, make sure you follow us, like, share, and everything. All our shows here on the JCA Sports Podcast on the John Konavi Facebook page, and get notified when our shows are live. Let's turn it real quick. Well, actually, predictions, guys. How confident are you guys in for Sunday the Bears against the Saints?
We're losing. No
Jose?
chance.
Weapon?
Your predictions for Sundays. What are your chances are for the Bears to win on Sunday? How do you feel? How confident do you feel on our Bears on Sunday?
L's.
Who they play again?
The Saints.
The Saints, bro.
Playing joke is a joke. No, we're gonna get whooped because especially it's in New Orleans, bro.
They
We're
got
gonna get
dog
we're gonna
walk
get,
us.
we're gonna get spanked.
Luckily, it's a 12 o'clock game and it's only regional, so we can only see in the national market can see the Bears getting spanked. But any shot of an upset though? Like, is there a shot of an upset for the Bears?
Nope.
No, bro. No. Especially because the way the Raiders, everything happened with the Raiders, and then Jimmy
Jose,
G
move your
being
mic from the
benched.
computer, please.
Sorry.
Jimmy G being benched, I think Derek Carr is going to play. He's going to try to ball out this weekend to rub it in their face.
I agree.
That's what it
I
is.
would.
Nah,
I would. The fuck?
you ain't lying. Yeah, that
It's-
defensive front
especially
is
against
kind
the
of is
Bears.
top 10 defense in all of
Especially
football.
against the Bears, boy, I'm licking my teeth when
Yeah.
I see the Bears on my schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also put this in L on it. This was one of my 50-50 ones, but it was leaning more for a loss simply because it's on the road. The Saints defense is really good. So yeah, I kind of see it. You know, even with a Justin Fields, if he was 100% healthy, I still would have put this at a loss. Now we're going with a Tyson Bagent, who finally faced adversity for the first time in his young NFL career, which I kind of wanted to see how he came out of. I think he looks semi okay. Now I want to see how he bounces back after facing adversity. I still feel like the Saints are going to beat the Bears this weekend. I mean, I had it on L in the beginning of the season before the season started. I'm keeping that. The Bears are losing on Sunday. All right, guys. I think isn't this like that bootlegged tournament that they have going on right now? In the NBA schedule. Like, isn't this the tournament or is it still the regular season?
The playing hasn't started yet.
Okay. Well, good because the Bulls are more pathetic than what we thought, guys. And I wasn't excited when the season was about to start right around the corner. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that the season was starting right around the corner, and I really didn't care because the Bulls did absolutely dilly squat over the offseason. And my feelings are still the same, not even worse, where I just kind of gave up on this team a long time ago, and I'm trying to find a new NBA team. I want to be on a loan like they do in soccer. I want to, cheer on another team because this team gives me headaches. The Bulls are more pathetic than we thought, guys. To be honest, what is the real issue? Now we're into this again with Billy Donovan in this squad. Jose, you say you're the basketball savant. What is going wrong with the Chicago Bulls?
That's the same issue as I mentioned to you last year, Eric. I still believe it's a coaching issue. Look, there's a reason why other teams want Zach LaVine because they know on their team he's a better player with better players around him. Like Miami Heat wants him because he complements Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he'll be the third best player there where he fits.
At one point, Dallas wanted him because he complimented Luka Doncic before Kyrie Irving went there. So right. So I think with better players around him, he's a great player. We know what DeMar DeRozan can do. The team has talent. They just don't have a system. There's a reason why 4 games in, everybody's asking who's the man again, who's taking the shots, who's supposed to take the shots, why is DeMar being an ISO player? It's the reason why after the first game they had a meeting, a players only meeting. They just don't have the right system. And that's all. And look, I'm not sitting here telling you guys Billy Donovan's a bad coach. I'm just telling you with this group of players, he's not the right coach for them. That's all I'm trying to say. Either keep Billy Donovan and get a whole new group of players, or keep this core group, which you've already done, which you've already committed to
it. Yeah,
right. You're already committed to, and get a different coach, one who knows who's going to put these guys in check and tell them, no, you're going to be here, you're going to be there, and this is the offense you're going to run. Whether it's through Vooch, through DeMar, through Zach, through Caruso, through whoever, I don't give a damn. Just give them. If you don't have a point guard who can run your plays, then give him a coach who's going to put these guys in check to do it for him. But that's the issue. I'm not sitting here telling you Billy Donovan's a bad coach. I'm just telling you he's not the right coach for this team. So either, again, get rid of him or get rid of the players. I don't care. Just pick a lane. And they pick the lane, but they don't want to get rid of Billy Donovan. It's not working. It's not. And I don't know what else to say. It's just frustrating watching these guys play. That's it.
John, Bulls, more pathetic. What's the issue here?
The issue is, well, like you said, we didn't do diddly squat. I mean, we saw the best we've seen this Bulls team is when Lonzo Ball was healthy with our core that we have.
Facts.
And here we are again. If you know Lonzo's not playing, which the whole world knows, they keep speculating that he may never play again. But it's like, if you know he's not playing, you're committed to Billy, because I think Billy's a good coach. He's proved it. He proved it in OKC before coming here. Then it's like, why not get this man a point guard instead of trying to make Zach, DeRozan, or Vooch a point guard? Because we've been said Kobe White's not that guy. Ayo has moments, but clearly he's not that guy. So it's like, I mean, I would have been happy if we would have got, what's his name? He played with him in OKC, Dennis Schroeder. Even fucking go get Van Fleet. Just go get a point guard and at least try to make Billy's system work instead of forcing these guys that are already bumping heads to try to be a point guard. It's like, it didn't work last year when you lost, not even last year, the last 2 seasons, because what is it, 2 years now that Lonzo's been hurt?
See.
Yeah, so it's like, if you're going 2 straight years without a legitimate point guard, and that was when the team was thriving, was when you had a point guard. And mind you, Lonzo's he's not on the list as far as top 10 for many people, prior to that little stint he had of the Bulls were the best team in the NBA. Prior to that, Lonzo wasn't viewed as top 10 point guard anywhere.
Yeah.
Mind you, like when we got him, it was like, okay, we got a bunch of B-list guys, which is true. But Billy kind of showed us, like, hey,
bunch of Robins.
When the system is working and you got a floor general doing what he's supposed to, this team could fucking thrive. So it's like, you've had the formula for success already. Why not find a point guard that could do that? Because these guys proved to you the last 2 years they can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't, bro, Billy, you're gonna lose your job.
And to John's point, real quick, I watched the last game, the fourth quarter. You know who was bringing the ball up? Usually you give it to the point guard in the fourth quarter, let him run the play.
Or your best player.
Yeah, right. Or your best player. But it was DeMar DeRozan, the one bringing up the ball up to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
Which
not
is
a
the Bulls'
point
best
guard.
player.
Yes, but he's not a point guard.
DeMar
DeRozan is better off in a system where he's in his spot to make the play. But the point guard is supposed to set up the play. And if DeMar DeRozan is setting up the play, then you have to rely on someone like Zach LaVine, who really isn't that guy in the fourth quarter. Let's be honest. And if you and half the time during that game, Zach LaVine was in his spot, in his corner, waving down the ball. And if you look at his body language, when they would go somewhere else, he was like this. Like I forgot who shot it or who dunked it. It was a good play, and the Bulls scored. Zach LaVine looked pissed until he realized it was a bucket. Then he was like, "Oh, cool!" And somebody was patting on his back, like, "Hey, relax." You know what I mean? But that's the kind of system they have, and that's what's so frustrating.
But because Zach is better off as a catch and shoot guy.
Yes, I agree. But they're not. But they
don't
don't want to see him like that.
Shoot guy. They are like that. I mean, there should be no reason.
But he can't shoot.
We sometimes see Vooch just fucking come, bro. He just dropped 50. Chill out. He just dropped 50 last game.
Right, and then he's going to drop like 10 the next game.
There
he can't shoot.
There should be no reason that Vooch is bringing the ball down the court and trying to shoot for three. I mean, it's a fun prop for me to bet Vooch to hit a 3 tonight, but he's not the point guard. DeRozan's not a point guard. LaVine's been shown he's not a point guard. He shows he doesn't want to be a point guard. It's like, and Ayo and Kobe White, they're not those guys.
Right, and the problem with DeMar DeRozan. And another problem with DeMar DeRozan bringing up the ball on the floor, he's so used to his ISO play that half the time those guys aren't even going to get half the time those guys aren't going to get the ball, and the other team knows it. They already know what's going to happen. So that's the issue. But as the coach, as Billy Donovan, you have to be the one to tell these guys, move the damn ball. Thibodeau wouldn't put up with it. Popovich wouldn't put up with it. But
see, to me, Jose, it brings the question, and I'm glad you brought up Tibbs, because Tibbs was always fighting with the ownership and GM, the front office. It's like, is it the front office that doesn't want to give Billy his point guard that he asked for? Because
I don't know.
We are again the same team as last year.
I don't know that. I really don't know much about.
I mean, we don't know the answer to that, but I just it gets.
Well, I mean, we sort of kind of do.
Billy would ask for a point guard.
Yeah.
But I think we sort of kind of do on that the answer to that question. Just look who the owner is, and then that probably give you the best answer.
That's where I was gonna go next. I'm like, because we could blame Billy or we could blame the GMs, but maybe they're all just handcuffed, bro.
Knowing Jerry, he's probably
right.
He's probably like, you got 6 guys that can play point guard. What do
Exactly. Which in reality they do. They do know. They do got 6 guys that can play point. Well, it's like 3, but 3 or 4. But come on. But he's right. He's
just
right.
Just like with the White Sox, he's like, you guys got 6 right fielders. What do you want? What are you talking about? I'm not gonna go sign Castellanos. You got 6 guys right there that could.
I mean, he's not lying. Like, do your job better than get the But I get it.
Talk about you need left-handed at bat. Well, you got 2 guys that could do that.
You got switch hitters. Just tell them.
You got switch hitters. Just switch them around. Yeah, shoot. Hey, real quick, Uncle Day, what's going on, man? How you feeling? Hope you're good. Hey, real quick plug for Uncle Day. Make sure you guys check out the fundamentals on WVON Friday nights from 9 to midnight on WVON. They had a great show with the guys. I was invited with them last week, and it was pretty fun. It was fun. There was a pretty good show. So they know what the hell they were talking about. So check them out real quick, WVON. The fundamentals Friday nights from 9 to 12 midnight. Guys, you already know how I feel, right? You guys know how I feel. I think Zach LaVine's overpaid. You guys think he's a good shooter. I don't think he's even a good anything other than a slasher going to the basket. I don't think his jump, his shooting style, format, whatever the case may be, however you want to say it, it's not what we think it is. It's not what we believe we want him to be. Overpaid, overrated player in my eyes, in Zach LaVine.
Oh, we know.
I mean, hell, there's trade offers that I see on that diehard Bull fans page, which sometimes it's like, all right, I know these guys are like fanboys and whatnot, and whatever the case may be. But sometimes like I see the trades and I'm like, I see Zach LaVine going somewhere. I was like, man, I would have done it like last week or something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
The one thing about this squad, and the one thing where I guess I can give AK and Mark Eversley just a little bit of a pass, is that he really never built this team his way. He retooled this team from what they had, bringing in players that he felt like he can build this team this way with the coach. And it worked up until Lonzo Ball got hurt.
But he did build the team the way he did, though. Like that's
exactly. Well, yes and no. He built it his way, but with the players that he kind of like was sort of well, he didn't have to give Zach LaVine the contract, but he did. But what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is like
that last regime, isn't it? Is he not?
Who?
Zach
Kobe.
Zach Kobe. Zach Kobe.
That's it.
That's basically it.
And
so he got
somebody else.
No, I think that's it. That's something that it's only, even if it was one more person out of like 15 guys, that you basically rebuild your own team. It started with the trade for Vooch. You kept Zach. You kept Kobe
he did
White
trade for Vooch, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he
that's
did.
right. That was the next person I was thinking of. Like, was
his first year
before AK?
His first year he traded for Vooch.
He did.
It was nice.
It was nice.
But again, he retooled it, right? Like Zach LaVine wasn't his guy, and supposedly that was the A1 star here in Chicago. That was my point that I was trying to get across, right?
But you're not going to get another star here, so yeah, Zach is the star.
Again, you're right, but I felt like the only way I'll give AK and Eversley another shot at this is like if they built this down, or if they stripped it down to the studs and try to regroup it all over again and see what he could bring. He did it in Denver. And Denver, without him, they won an NBA title because the players that he brought in actually won him a chip. So
they need to go get a point guard.
So again, you're right. It could be easily fixed with getting a point guard. Fred VanVleet, who's from Rockford, he could have been here in Chicago Bulls and they didn't go out, right? Hell, they could even trade it for Damian Lillard if they wanted to and give him a contract if they could have. You know, they didn't even do that.
That would have been fucking amazing.
Nope.
But last year with Donovan Mitchell, whatever the case may be, somebody as a point guard that plays the point position
Kyrie
very well.
Irving.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
It's frustrating because we're Chicago and you have Milwaukee showing you out.
You got Cleveland in your own division.
You have Cleveland.
And up-and-coming teams in Pittsburgh and the Pistons.
Yeah. Smaller market teams are outplaying you, or they're outmaneuvering you, they're out everything you. Like
hell. Yeah. You're right. Smaller market teams like Sacramento, like OKC, who showed you out the first game of the season. Denver, who just won a NBA championship last year. The Utah Jazz is still a better team than you are. Atlanta Hawks are still a better team than you are.
The franchise, you have the history, You have the city, you have the fan
Yeah.
base, you have everything, and you still can't do it.
The city of Milwaukee should not have those two superstars on their payroll.
Facts. But
Damn.
they do.
Dead
No
ass,
disrespect to
dude.
Milwaukee though.
Fuck Milwaukee.
Fuck Milwaukee. Fuck the Brewers. Fuck the Packers. Fuck the Bucks.
That's Green Bay.
Fuck
That's
them
not
all.
Milwaukee. That's Green Bay.
Same thing. Fuck Wisconsin in
It's
general.
Wisconsin, isn't it? Isn't that
Oh,
Wisconsin
but I
in
bet you guys will be
general.
on the first trip to go to Wisconsin Dells though.
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't
Fuck
gone
the
yet.
Dells.
Overpriced.
Don't say fuck Wisconsin.
But I'm just.
I get what you guys are saying though.
Don't even look at who they are. Just open it up more broad. It's like Milwaukee has won a championship recently. They just added another superstar to the superstar that delivered them a championship, and the Bulls have a bunch of fucking B- athletes on their payroll. B- and lower. We fucking got we got Pat Will over there. Fucking F wanted $200 million.
That made me laugh when I read that.
That
shit,
was
dude.
hilarious, man. And
Nice,
and
dude.
look, last year I was kind of Patrick Williams' biggest advocate, I guess you can say, right?
He's averaging
That I
5
feel
points
like
a
if this
game.
guy could turn around and do this and do that, like I was that guy. I was that guy. I am here to admit that.
He's terrible. I'd rather have
But
Dwight Howard.
yeah,
at
and
this
I
point.
can't say after those comments, man, he turned me off, and it was just like, yeah, bro, you're ass cheeks now. You're booty cheeks. I'm sorry.
I'd probably take Dylan Brooks on this team over Pat Williams.
Yeah,
He's that,
Not Dylan
he's
Brooks.
that bad, dude.
yeah,
Not
with
Dylan Brooks.
Dude,
But to be
he's
honest with you,
fucking- he's good. He's terrible. He's horrible.
Chicago,
He's like-
Chicago as a sports city, bro, we're ass. We are ass.
Yeah, we don't want to fucking go all in.
It's
We
bad
don't
all
want to
over.
rebuild the right way. We don't want to go all in.
It's all corrupt, greedy. Chicago's always been a corrupt, greedy city, and our owners are no different.
You know what? I've been binging Hell's Kitchen. Maybe I should reach out to Gordon Ramsay, see if he'd be willing to help turn around the Bulls or the Bears. Just
I'd rather
fucking
have
go
Jeff
ahead
Bezos.
and just jump in and what? What'd you just say,
I said I'd rather have Jeff Bezos.
bro? Hop off my line, bro.
What? Amazon, bro. Imagine the new stadium called Amazon Prime.
Yeah, we gotta watch their fucking games on Amazon. Fuck
Prime
that,
Field.
I'll pass.
Prime Field, bro. Prime Field. Look at
Prime
that.
Field.
See? And then we get
Nothing.
sponsored by those Prime guys too as well.
That'd be actually pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie.
Right? I mean, look at that.
Prime-
That money on money on money, bro.
Prime-
Look, I'm
Prime
coming up
Field.
with it. Oh my god, I'm
Prime
better
Field.
at the fucking job than the Bears organization, bro.
Look,
Fuck.
I'll take Prime Field. That actually sounds pretty dope.
Hell
Imagine
yeah,
the
yeah.
stadium.
Dope.
The stadium's gonna be raw as fuck. It's gonna be the color of the Amazon logo, which is a dope ass color. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true. Yellow and
Yeah,
light
I'm
blue.
just-
All right.
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, hell, just change the Bears.
Little smile on
Colors.
your face with a wink.
Change the Bears colors too while you're at it. Fuck it.
And then you could order your Amazon Prime jersey right there at the stadium, and they'll just come bring it to you right then and there, and within 5 minutes. Look at that free customer. My God, I got a plan here to make this stadium badass, bro. Damn.
I don't know.
Bear
Eric.
shop.
Amazon
You
Prime,
can shop there
Amazon Prime
at the
no
Bear
more,
shop,
bro.
and they'll
This
send it
takes
to you
3 days.
within 2 days. Come on, man. I got the ideas.
I'll take X too. Elon Musk. X Field. Let's do it.
All right,
And
man.
that's where you lost me, bro. I'm all
Yeah,
good. I don't
yeah.
want my stadium to going up in space, bro. That's
That's
even
meta.
if we can, if the
That's-
firmament lets us.
That's not what's his name? That's the metaverse. That's what's the Facebook? Yeah, it's Facebook.
What's
Mark
his name?
Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. That's the guy.
Ese güey también. Ese robot. You know what? Let me not, because they're gonna take us out.
Fuck Mark Zuckerberg.
Damn. Okay, we went there, and that's how we're gonna end the show. This might be the last show of the JCA Sports Podcast. Thanks to Jose here saying that.
TikTok all day,
I'd be banned
baby.
from Facebook.
Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, under the John Conavi on Facebook, and the Star 6 Media Productions on all our social media platforms. The JCA_sports on TikTok too as well. We're gonna be a little bit more active on there, guys, giving you a little thoughts. So make sure you give us a follow and a like and a share on all our platforms there. Oh, fellas, it was nice. It was nice seeing you guys. I appreciate you guys hopping on. It's been a while. We should do this more often. I love you guys. Well said, Jose. This was a long time ago, but we don't need to see that again. It was fun. I missed you guys. So Bears winning this weekend. Jose said that. He put that down at his weekly thing. Oh my God. And just like that, you ruined it. I hope you guys don't come back. At least I don't hope you don't come back, Jose. John, you're more than welcome to hop on, bro.
God damn.
Bless.
I swear. See, and this is why we are where we are. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining us, tuning in. Josh, Uncle Day Day, and everybody else watching this. Guys, make sure you follow us, like, and share all of our episodes. Not only just ours, but also the Star 6 Media Production and Big League Chicago and Only Football. Any last words, guys? Jose, last words?
Nope.
John, last words?
I just want to point out that Pat Will is 0 for 5, 0 for 4 on 3-pointers and 0 points tonight in 20 minutes.
I got one thing to say. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Stupid. You should have just never. I think I found a new segment on the show where we could find it called the bare minimum. You know, we could find a show like what the bare minimum that player did just for the succeed of the team. You know, that would be a great segment.
I think we should put some French baguette highlights in replace
I'm down.
of Justin Fields in our intro.
Jose, you got that?
What?
You're the editor here.
Oof.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys. We'll be on next week, same time at 8 o'clock. Joining us on Monday at Big League Chicago as we recap for the Bears Saints game on Monday. There was no Big League Chicago because I don't know why. Why wasn't there? I wasn't on my phone. He didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Well, whatever. Just tune in on Monday. We'll be back on Monday. Reactions to the Bears Saints on Monday, and then back again with us next Wednesday here on the JCA Sports Podcast. For Jose Contreras, Jonathan Palayo, I am Eric Saul-Lavila. We appreciate you guys for hopping on. We will see you guys next week. Goes Bears! And as always, football is the best sport in the whole entire world. See ya!
Football, baby.